Can an AI agent fully automate an Instagram page completely by itself, posting 3 times a day, creating its own content, its own caption, and its own tags? Well, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and demo a simple N8N workflow that I'm using with an AI agent to go ahead and do that fully for me. So let's go ahead before we actually dive into the workflow of this. Let's actually see it live with an example. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit test workflow, and we are going to see that after this workflow is complete, it's going to produce a post right after this one here. So let's go ahead and give it a try. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and go back to our page. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh Instagram, and if it all works, yep, it worked correctly. So we see here a new post, Fuel Creativity with AI. It has a caption and it has some tags with it. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and break down this workflow node by node and let's see how it works. Okay, so starting with the first node, we have a trigger node. Basically, it's a simple node that really tells the whole workflow when to run. Because my N8N instance is set up in Eastern time, these expressions here you see, this basically means 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. This basically tells this workflow when to run. So when this workflow triggers, it then prompts, well, not really prompts, but it will then trigger this agent to go ahead and wake up and do its job. So in this agent, I went ahead and I provided 2 instructions. I provided a system message that, basically saying you're an assistant that writes educational code style content for Instagram, as well as a user prompt as well to basically tell the agent rather exactly what I want. I am using for this agent the OpenAI 4.0 model. So the next thing that I'm doing is I'm going to actually make an HTTP request over to OpenAI's image model. Now, one thing about images, prior to, it's kind of been known that a lot of AI generated texts have just not been really that good, and it's still not perfect. As we see here, there's still a little bit of graininess around the edges here of the text that you can see, but it's really gotten much better. So basically, OpenAI has gotten a lot better on their text quality, which basically allows us to do this. So by calling this API, and by the way, you do have to verify your organization before you can pull this API. But by pulling this API, once the agent creates the whole caption and everything, when I send this HTTP request over to OpenAI, I basically give it this instruction, right? I'm telling it take the title and message, create into an Instagram Square post. I'm giving it the background color, the text, the font, and everything. And this is basically the output from my AI agent. All right, so once this flow is done, it's going to return something called a base64 file, right? So as you see here, this is the return, rather, I'm sorry, not a base64 file, but really a base64 text, which is basically an encoded way of sending this text. So when we get it, we do have to include a note here where we are converting it to a binary file. So that's exactly what this node does here. It takes in this text here and it converts it to an image that I'm then merging into here. Now, granted, after we have the quote done, now we still need to write a caption, right? We still need to write this caption. We still need to get these tags here. So once it's done, it will then prompt this model here to go ahead, and there's some more instruction here, and I'm pasting the output here below, and I'm basically telling this to go ahead and write me a caption and some relevant tags for it as well. Now, once it's done, I merge it all together, and I included this code note here because something you might notice when you're playing around N8N enough is that if you're trying to reference outputs that you've gotten maybe 2 or 3 nodes back, you'll often get these undefined errors because oftentimes that data is just not pulled fully to the front. So I did prompt ChatGPT to just create this very simple JavaScript code here to basically pull the binary file and the JSON data together. And using the upload post API, which is basically just this simple API tool that we can actually publish posts or images or videos directly to social media accounts, we went ahead and post that image, the caption, and the tags and everything over to this BuildBots account. So obviously this is a new account. There's not any followers or anything here, but I really just created this as a proof of concept to really show that, yeah, this is possible. So if I simply turn on this workflow every day at 9, 12, and 6 p.m. my time, it will trigger this workflow. This account will post a new image, and I literally don't have to worry about it. If you want to go ahead and get this whole workflow, I will make it available for free. Just go ahead and check the link in description. Thanks for checking out the video.